Welcome back everyone. In this one we are going to solve questions from uh, R.S. Agarwal. So if you're preparing for one of these exams, if you take a look over here, you'll see, yes, these are the exams for which students usually use this book. It's a very famous one if you're preparing for civil services, all the other variety of exams, even MBA, CMAT, CAT, hotel management, and all the other central government and state government recruitment exams. You will come across quantitative aptitude, and largely the questions that you get. This book is a good starter for practice. Obviously, there are other materials that you should use to practice maths, but this is the most basic one, the most foundational one. So in this chapter, in this book, today we are going to do the chapter of percentage. Okay, all right, this is the chapter of percentage. Yeah, now we are going to solve the MCQs. So this is going to be largely a chill video in which we solve some mathematics questions. Now there is also some selfish interest of mine. Okay, currently I have a student. She is preparing for civil services and she has come to me for math coaching. So currently I'm also teaching her the chapter of percentage. So I was like, why not just put it on my YouTube for everyone to learn? All right, so contrary to the widely believed that math, I mean, there is a considerable portion of theory in mathematics, but if you wish to understand the subject a little bit deeper, you must always focus on solving questions, because that is where your marks will come from. Doesn't matter if you memorize certain theories properly, if you memorize things. Okay, so we'll get straight into it. This is the chapter of percentage. We'll go to the first question. How is 3/4 expressed as percentage? Now there are two concepts to understand over here. Number one is, so if there is, let's say, if there is a pizza and you divide that into 4 parts. Okay, so I'll shade this, I'll shade this, and I'll shade this. So now this fraction becomes 3/4. Okay, now how do I express this in percentage? I'm sure in coordinate geometry you must have learned that these are quadrants. So each quadrant is a 25% of the whole. That is why we call it quarter, quadrant, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. So 3/4 is basically 75%. Now people who are not able to visualize this, you can simply just multiply this by 100. For example, if you multiply 3/4 multiplied by 100, that gives you 25 4s are 100. So this is C. All right, okay, let's move on to question number 2. Question number 2 says the ratio 5/4 expressed as percent equals. Simply, it's written 5/4. You can write it as a fraction, 5/4. All right. Again, the same thing. If you have to convert, let's say if there is a fraction. Okay. On a completely unrelated note, this is a little bit of theory if you must. So if there is a fraction that is A upon B, and you must convert this fraction into percentage, all you need to do is simply just multiply 100. Yeah, and the reverse is also true. If there is let's say a fraction that is given as percent, let's say 5 upon let's say 5%, and you need to convert this percentage into a fraction. And fraction and decimals are largely the same. If I write 1/2, it's fraction. If I write 0.5, it's decimal. So if this is 5% and I must convert this into a fraction first, then all I need to do to remove this percentage sign is I must divide that by 100. Okay, now you can just, okay, So yes, over here, the ratio of 5:4 is basically a fraction of 5 upon 4. Now you need to express this into percentage. All you need to do is simply just multiply it by 100. 25 is 125, so you get the answer 125%. We move on to the next one. 3.5 can be expressed in terms of percentage as. Now we need to convert this decimal. That is 3.5 in terms of percentage. Let's see. Sometimes in MCQs, I'm sure a lot of you who are watching this video, you are preparing for these competitive exams, and in those exams sometimes you also have to eliminate in the MCQs, because you'll never straight away know the correct answer to all the questions. Some questions you might need to use the technique of elimination. All right, so just let me do this. Okay. All right, let's look at option D over here. 350%. It says 350%. Now if I need to convert this, I'll use this method. If I need to remove the percentage sign, what is the first thing that I do? I simply just divide it. That is 100, 0, 0, cut. Now since there is 1 0 in the denominator, I'll write it as 3.5. So this is what they're asking, 3.5. It can be expressed in terms of percentage as 350%. All right, we move on to question number 4. When expressed as a fraction, 64% would mean, all right, 64 percentage, right? So whenever you need to remove this percentage sign, what do? You put 100 in denominator. Now you can keep on reducing this fraction. I think we'll start with 2. 2 3s are 2 2s are 2 50s are 2 16 2 25. I think this should be enough. Now we cannot cut this any further, so the answer will be A. A lot of students will say that these are easy questions. Why must I do this? If you straight away start with the difficult ones, you'll not get that momentum going. Everything is about momentum. You cannot run a car straight away at 100 km/h. You need to start slow. You need to make sure that the RPMs are proper, and then you'll reach the top speed of that car. So yes, it's sometimes help. You just sit with the pencil, sit with the pen, and just keep on doing what I'm doing currently. It's just a chill video where I'm solving mathematics questions. Yeah, when done, it definitely de-stresses you. All right, we move on to question number 5. Half of 1% written as a decimal is half of 1%. So it's simply half of 1%. Okay, so I can write this as half multiplied by 1%, 1 upon 100. Let's see if I'm right or wrong. I can be wrong, but it's highly unlikely. 1 upon 200. But I think there will be cameras over here. 1 upon 200. I hope this question is visible to you. Let me just, yeah. So half of 1% is written as a decimal. Okay. Now I think we'll have to do a long division over here. There's no escaping this. So 200 divided by 1, 0, 0 dot, 1 more 0. One more 0. Now I can put 205s. So I think, yep. Will this give you, yes, if I multiply 200 multiplied by 0.05, let's see, it gives you 5 2s are 10. I think we have forgotten one more 0 over here. Yes. So half of 1%. So first of all, let us try it the other way around. Let's just convert 1% into decimal first. So 1% when it is converted, 1%, so 1 upon 100, that gives you 0.01. Okay, now I need to do the half of this. So half of 0.01. I think the answer, it still remains the same, I think, 100. So this is 1 upon 200. Yeah, 1 upon 200. So I think the answer still remains the same. That, yeah, no, 0.005. Yes. Yep. All right. Sometimes you come across such questions. Need not worry. How do I? All right, guys. The next one, the sixth one, is I think an easy one. That is 12% of 5,000. Now sums like this. This is the most basic one. So whenever you get such questions, in the place of off, all you need to do is add a multiplication sign. So 12%, 12 upon 100, off, that is multiplication, and then 5,000. So you cut these zeros, 12 5s are 60 and 0. So the answer is 600. Yeah. We move on to the next one. I think I might have to, I'll try and do this without the calculators, but this is something that I see amongst students as well. A lot of them actually. They'll use calculators from the lower grades. In the higher grades, I think it is permitted, but in the lower grades, you must not use calculators. A lot of them have access to iPads and all those mobile devices. So it's very important to avoid calculators at an early age, because if you do that, you are simply just not exploring the mental capacity or the mental potential that you have. All right, so the seventh one is 38% of 341. So 38% is 38 upon 100 into 341. Now what usually people do over here is they'll start cutting. They'd start, but don't do that since you have 100 in the denominator. You simply just multiply this and add 2 decimals. That would be easier. Okay, let me just do that. 341, 38, 0, 3 ones are 3, 4 threes are 9, 9 plus 1, 10, 1 8s are 8, 8 4s are 32, 8 3s are 24, 24 plus 3, 27. So this gives you 8, 5, 9. Okay, and then we have 100 in the denominator, so you add 2 decimals, so 129.58. As simple as that. All right, now this is a slightly more complicated calculation. This is also testing your percentage ability along with your arithmetic ability as well. So 550%, so 550 divided by 100 of 250 multiplied by 250, and then you need to divide this whole thing by 275. This is the question. So let me just start off by, yeah, this should be easy. 5 5s are 5 2s are 2, 2 2s are 4, 2 7s are 14, 2 5s are 10. Okay, so 275 multiplied by 5 upon 275. So I think the answer should be, did I miss any 0? No. 25 5s are 25, 5 5s are 25, 5 2s are 10, 2 1s are 2, 275 is 275 into 5 upon. So I think the answer should be none of these. That is the last one, because 5 is not given in the option. Sometimes you get these none of the above things, none of these. Okay, let's go to the ninth one. I need to keep making space because, yep. Let's go to the ninth one, that is 280% of 3940. 280 upon 100 multiplied by 3940. Again, I would recommend you don't need to, simply just multiply these two. Let me do that for you. 394 multiplied by 28. Yep, 0, 4 2s are 8, 9 2s are 18, 3 2s are 6, 6 plus 1, 7, 8 4s are 32, 9 8s are 72, 72 plus 3, 75, 8 3s are 24, 24 plus 7, 31. So this is 2, 13, 0, 1, 11. And do we have any decimals over here? I don't think so. So 11032. That's given, option B. All right. So all these questions, the off ones, I think you should be able to do it. So let's just skim through such questions. Okay, because this is just slight modifications over off and on and all that. So 10th question is basically, what are you supposed to do is, whenever you have an off, that is multiplication, you divide this by 100. So how do you write this? 92.5 upon 100 multiplied by 550. And you calculate this, and this is what you will answer is what you will get. Okay, let's move on to the next one, that is 11th. 2% of 2. So again, when you have an off, 2% of 2 is 2 upon 100 multiplied by 2. So this is 4 upon 100, so 0.04. So A is the answer. 10% of 5 and 5% of 10 add up to okay, so that is 10 upon 100 multiplied by 5 plus 5 upon 100 multiplied by 10. All you need to do is, yep, 5 2s are 5 2s are. So I think half plus half should be 1. So the answer is C. So I think largely you understand the concept or the method behind the questions that contain off. So whenever you have a percentage, you divide it by 100 to convert into a fraction or a decimal. So for example, this 45%, if you need to convert it into a number, so what do you do to remove this percentage sign? You simply just divide it by 100. And what do you put in place of off? Multiplication. 300 remains. And then you just simply carefully do the calculations, and I think you will not have any other problem. 15th question is also the same. 16th is also the same. These are questions that test your arithmetic ability. So do not rush these questions. All right, let me see if you have some other variety of questions. All right, let's do the 20th one. 20th one looks slightly different. Okay, so 45% off. So let's say 45% off multiplication of 25% of 4/5 of 8. All right, let me just. This is what happens. I need more space because I think my writing is a little bit thicker. Yep. So let's so 45% of 25% of 4/5 of 850. all you must do is simply just do this calculation. 25 4s are 100, so that is gone. 0 0 5 9s are 45. So now I'll not do anything with this 10 because it will simply just help me with the decimal. Sometimes you also have to be a little bit smart with the calculations. Okay, so let's just 85, we have 9 5s are 45, 9 8s are 72, 72 plus 4 is 76, 76.5. So that is C. All right, so the questions that have off are usually very easy, contrary to what people think of these questions. All right, now these are word problems. Question number 23. I think a lot of students struggle with word problems. I've also spoken about this in many of my previous videos as well, but I'll again reiterate. If you are one of those students who is able to do calculations properly, but sometimes or most of the times you struggle with word problems, then I think the problem lies in language, not in your logical understanding of the concept. So it is very important sometimes to also work upon your English language. Okay, I know it is our misfortune or a stroke of destiny that brought this English language to our country. But now since we have it, and majority of the knowledge or majority of the information that is out there in the public domain is in the English language, so you might as well just learn it. It's not that difficult. I would say our vernaculars are way more difficult than English language. And so I have been teaching English since last 5 years, not just English, a variety of subjects. So I've been a teacher since last 5 years, and I've met people, okay, who speak a decent amount of English, but they've not had an English medium education or English medium background. So I get the argument that people make that if somebody has studied in an English medium school, they will have fluent or they will have a good grasp over the language. But contrary to that, I have met people who have studied in vernacular medium schools, Gujarati medium, Hindi medium schools, and they are far more fluent than people who have had an English medium background. So it absolutely does not matter. It's way easy. It's just something that we have made up inside our head that it's a difficult language. It is not. Okay, it's way easier than our vernaculars. Try learning Kannada or Sanskrit or any other classical language for that matter, and you will know how simpler English is. All right, so we'll look at question number 23. Okay, an agent sells goods of value, let's say 15,000 rupees. The commission which he receives at the rate of 12.5%. So let's say you sell something, and out of the total value of that something, a certain percentage of commission you make. I think people who are into sales will understand this. Whenever you make a sale, a certain percent of it goes to you as a commission. So in this, an agent is selling goods of 15,000 and his commission is 12.5%. So all I need to do is calculate 12.5% of this amount. Sounds simple. I can write 12.5% as 12.5%. So 12.5 upon 100. Or you can simply just convert this into a fraction, or this is like a mixed fraction. 12 2s are 24. 24 plus 125. In that way also works. 15,000. Now I can remove this decimal, put a 0 over here. I can simply just cut these zeros. And now all I need to do is multiply 125 with 15. Let's try that. 125 with 15. So this is where I would recommend you don't use calculators, because if you do, you lose this impulse. 5 is a 25, 5 2 is a 10, 10 plus 2 12, 6. So 5 7 8 1875. So that is his commission. All right, Let me make a little bit more space. All right. 24th is 1/8 of a number is 41.5. What will 69% of that number be? It's a relatively simpler question. All you need to focus on is the words. 1/8 of a number is 41.5. So 1/8 of x, let that number be x. Okay. We don't know A, B, C, D, whatever letter. Okay. So 1/8 of a number. 1/8 of a number is 41.5. Okay, I hope it should be visible. Okay, so 1/8 of x is 41.5. All you need to do is move over 8 to this side. So x is equal to 41.5 multiplied by 8. 8 5s are 40. 8 1s are 8. 8 plus 4, 12. 8 4s are 32. 32 plus 1, 33. And there is one decimal. So 332, that number is 332. Simple. Now what is the 69% of that number? So we need to calculate this. 69 upon 100 into 332. Calculate this and you get the answer to question number 24. All right. One last question. I'm still finishing my coffee, and I think I'll do more of these videos, because solving questions, it somehow relieves stress. Not that I'm stressed, but it's like therapy. You keep solving questions, it boosts your confidence. Every now and then you come across something that is difficult and you enjoy that. Okay. Now 25th question is a little bit different, in the sense that it is it's given in words, not numbers. So 10% of 20. 10% 10% of 20 plus 20% of 10 equals what? Now even the options are not given in absolute values, they are given in statements. So let us just calculate this. So it's simply just 2 plus 2, 4. So let's see. This cannot be equal to 4. This cannot be equal to 4. This. So by way of elimination, we're left with option number D. Alright, I think now it's my time to go to work. I cannot keep solving this. In the next video, we are definitely going to continue from question number 26. I'll definitely solve all these questions. So if you are somebody who is preparing for all those exams, okay, you can simply watch these videos. This is RS Agarwal that we are solving. And yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching.